Samuel, can I ask you, have you had much of a reaction in terms of the thing that, us among others talked about last week, the Lory Meagher and the ring fencing of maybe 5 counties that don't have 5+ adult hurling teams, that they'd have no league and they'd just be ring fenced into Lory Meagher. What sort of reaction have you seen?
Well, from the hurling fraternity in Ulster, it's unanimous. It's scandalous. It's worrying. Like, I find it worrying because I'm old enough and experienced enough to know that these things don't happen by accident. That's somebody feeling the waters. That's maybe a county board somewhere thinking the football raises all the money, and look at the money we could save and put football if we hadn't hurling, and that's where that's coming from, boys. Be under no illusion. That's somebody feeling the waters and giving it to CCC to leak out, to see what people think, to see if there's a vehicle for it and that there. Like, it's worrying. It's scandalous. It's like, if the GA want to save money, give me 10 minutes. I could show them a lot of ways to save money rather than stop people playing the game. Like I had a phone call last night from a Fermanagh hurler who I coached with, and her was with me. But like, I'll give you a wee quick snippet. About 5, 6, 7 years ago, I went down to Billy to help coach a group of kids that were starting a new club. They have every age group now, and they played this year for the first time in junior. That's Billy. And Fermanagh have now 9 juvenile clubs, and that's all people that are helping, doing the work themselves. And you ask these people, are you getting any help from Ulster Council, or are you this here? And they always know. It's always the same. And the one thing that I find the powers to be at, they'll never, and I've said this 1,000 times, they never give you a roadblock. They give you a diversion. So we do this, so you lose. Like Martin Fogarty last week, we made the point that you lose the will to live dealing with this at times, and you just quit because it's a waste of time. I can tell you here now, boys, that wasn't done by accident. That's thought out through and out there. That's somebody trying to feel the water to see what this passed, because be under no illusion, the biggest problem in Ulster hurling always has been, and I am going to get dogs abuse for this. Twitter's going to light up. I'm going to get I don't do Facebook and that, but they're going to say the biggest problem to Ulster hurling, or hurling in general, football, it's the elephant in the room. Onto the day that Ulster hurling people take charge of hurling, we're going nowhere. Like, if they want to waste money, like Belfast, we've over 30 years coaches and schools and all this here. Belfast hurling has got worse and worse in every year. Like, there's one of all the hurling competitions played in Antrim this year at every age level, B, C's, C's. I think Belfast has won one competition, Junior B, Ardoyne. I think that's only won the one. There hasn't been, like, there's senior clubs in Belfast hasn't a minor team in 13 years, and we're spending fortunes on it. But the hurling people told them how to shove it, but nobody paid any heed. Nobody listens. And we're putting a lot of pressure on Jared Burns. We hope that he's going to maybe do something. The fact that Martin Fogarty hasn't been reappointed his job, that says everything. Like, let's be realistic about it. And I know you are in a position where you are trying to do your best, but be under no illusion, boys, that wasn't done by accident. That's somebody feeding the water, and that's somebody, because there's no doubt that football is, if you're sitting in Cavan County Board, for example, the majority of the football money that's raised is coming from football background, and that there, and they can see it and they can watch it. And if you're a football person, more power to your way, and you see the money that's costing to promote this team, and realistic, they're not going to shake the world up. They're not doing that there, the rules, but they should be investing more into the county juveniles and out there. But that's a whole different podcast, and this podcast will last for years. I mean, like, it's not that I'm just saying I have ideas of my own. If you're hurting people around a table, somebody will come up with a good idea. Yeah, that will work, or try it or something. But what we're doing at the minute, like the GA has to look at itself really. Like, who's going to win the All-Ireland next year? Who's going to compete for it? We know. Like, who's going to do it in 10 years' time? Who was doing it 20 years ago? It's the same kind of, and nobody ever does anything. Nobody grabs a bull by the horn and say, listen, what we're doing is not working. Let's try something different and really try and promote, because, and I know I get abuse for this too, hurling is such like if the GAA's got 4 products between camogie, ladies football, men's football, or many products they have, hurling is without doubt the special one. It is the special one. It's the one that you can bring an outsider from Amazon jungle and he'll see it and he'll love it. You bring an American, you bring anything, and even 99% of dual players, the great dual players down through the 𝘱𝘁𝘀𝘠 of this world, like hurling's their first love. Everywhere you go, like not there. And I'm not knocking football. I'm not. This is not us and them. But you can't have football people in charge of another sport because that's what happened. There's people in them counties that are passionate about their football and more to them, but they're now making the decision promote hurling like the town league. I remember maybe 15 years ago, the town league that Martin Fogarty was talking about, the cross county. We wanted the county boards to give us one night where clubs weren't allowed to leave fixture football matches and go against the hurling, and we couldn't get it. We couldn't get one night in the week. We asked them to give us one night, and we would sort the league out for that night so that they can tell the clubs in the county, you're not allowed to organise a challenge match or training for football on this night. This is a designated night for hurling and hurling only. Couldn't get it. Couldn't get one night. Not one night. And that's the reality. Like myself and Woody ran an indoor for during the winter for all the weaker teams with 28 teams playing, 9 aside. No off the walls, boys. Speeding up your hurling, really aggressive, goals only. Brilliant game to watch with 28 teams going. We done the fun. We get the venues not there. Ulster Council took it over the next year and made an absolute balls of it. Ruined it. And that's the reality. And you can call it what you want, and like I'll probably not get much. I'm not getting 2 free tickets for All Ireland off them, but that's just the life, and we keep saying that, but nothing happens. Like there's people have good ideas how to run, but them 9 juvenile clubs in Fermanagh and Balik are an extent. Once you see a kid pick a ball and you see a smile on his face, hurling, we know it's a harder game to coach, but once you have people that are passionate, and believe it, there's people in Cavan, there's people in Fermanagh as passionate about the game as I am or you or anybody else is, and they're not getting a fair crack of the whip, and that's the bottom line. You can call it what you want, but onto hurling people, do something about it, unite, take charge of our own. I don't know what we can do. It's above my pay grade, but I've been flying this flag and battering this drum now 40 years, and I've brainwashed people like McManus and McGill or Paddy Burke and up there, but now McManus is like Sambo 30 years ago. He's coming out with the same bullshit. He's coming out with the same stuff because I've been brainwashed. It's like when you get into my back bar in the bar and you see our minor team coming in and I coach, they all play Bruce Springsteen because I had them all brainwashed about Springsteen, and I've them all brainwashed again about Ulster hurling. Like
just Shane, on Sambo's point there, and I know this for a fact because I've been chatting to various people. Like this proposal that came out is largely coming from county boards, those 5 county boards, and lads can talk out both sides of their mouth if they want, and there's a lot of that going on because when it came back that players railed against this, a lot of people kind of reined it in and were like, oh no, we were misinterpreted or whatever. But that is where predominantly this proposal is coming from. It's a county board cost-cutting procedure, and it's a way of putting costs elsewhere, and it really in those 5 counties it's towards football, and that's the nature of it. It's come out through the CCC, but that is the nature of it, and that's the long and short of it.
Anybody that thinks anything different is delusional. This came from county board members, and they have a contact in the CCC, and that's feeling water. This has been done 1,000 times and not there, but the problem is this is not the end of it. They'll find, and the problem is, like, where was it? Like, maybe I'm missing something. Did the Ulster Council come out and not go mad about this? Should that not be their place? We're promoting 2 games, are we not? We keep standing up and saying we're all one family, we're all this rosy blah blah, patting each other in the back. Onto it affects football. Be under no illusion, boys. That came from county boards with a meeting in the CCC. Release that for us and see where this goes. We'll dip our toe in the water here and see if there's a big reaction this year. And that's what it is. And they don't worry about lunatics like me, Ganson. I've been Ganson for 30 years. Like, I'm like a stock record. They don't pay any heed to me. But the only thing about social media and that there now, but I would love to see the Limerick hurlers come out and say, hold on a minute, or something like that. I'd love to see the GPA out strongly. No, where's the GPA in this?
Usual. They'll wait until the decision is made and then put out some mealy-mouthed statement or a survey released a day before the vote. Pointless.
Yeah, but that's going on, seeing, like, this is only one, and this has gone on as years.
Yeah.
Is the GPA in this? Or where, like, I was on the first players advisory committee in Croke Park back in the day, me and Scullion and that there, and it was designed to speak up for players. Well, surely to Jesus, somebody needs to speak up for Manor hurlers and Cavan hurlers now. If there's, like, it's a form of bullying. Like I would love to see the Limerick hurlers or the Cork hurlers or the Kenny hold on a minute. Our brothers up in Fermanagh here are not being treated equal. This is our game. We'll stand by them. You know, but now you've got me in my egg box, Shane.
Oh, look, you're not the only one. We're hugely frustrated over it. And to be honest, like, when on earth is it going to build the game by cutting a group of players season in half? I just don't see it. But
Shane, don't even go down that road. It was not about building a game. That's a smokescreen. That's bullshit. There's nobody with two white brain cells thinks stop playing game is promoting the game. That's bullshit. That's coming, and we'll direct the money towards something else. I know what you're going to direct the money towards, and the dog out in the street at the minute knows what you're going to direct the money towards.
So there's one thing I want to say to you, Sambo, and I know you say you're a lunatic and you're banging your head against the wall, but you remind me of Andy Dufresne in '𝘱𝘂ank Redemption. He kept writing letters, and those books eventually come. Keep banging the drum, because you have to keep banging the drum, because a lot of these people are they're happy to try and break you down and break your spirit or whatever, but never ever throw the towel in. Yeah,
but Michael, I love our game so much. I love the game so much that it's easy to fight for something when you love it. Like, it's easy. Like, I'd cross the white line, as we talk about, any day for the game of hurling. Like, I've been to 5 dinner dances, promoting the smaller clubs and that there, 2 more this weekend. Like, nobody has to ask me, will you come and do a coaching session? I've been to these counties. I've coached these clubs. I've talked to the hurling people within these counties on a regular basis. You know, like, they're my soulmates, they're my friends and that there. And, like, and if a few football people think I'm a raving lunatic, well, I can live with that quite happily.